Okay, can you describe your job on the ship?
Well, my job is actually to sort of stand back a little bit from all the data that's generated and look at all of it to try to get the big picture of how things go together. So I get to look at huge streams of data, all kinds of wiggly lines coming across my screen, and then assemble the sort of jigsaw puzzle pieces that allow us to know what's going on, figure out from various different perspectives what the time is, what the age of the sediment is, and that helps everybody put their science into a bigger context and put it together as a single package. So that's pretty exciting.
And what is your educational background?
First, of course, I went to college after high school, and I couldn't decide what science I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a scientist, and so I just thought with geology and oceanography I could do them all. So that's how I chose. I just wanted to do them all, and oceanography particularly is one that you have to do them all in order to make sense of things.
So you've always wanted to be a scientist?
Yeah, okay, so now, yes, I decided to do this job when I was 12, and it came from writing a class paper for my middle school science class, and I had to decide to write something about the ocean. So I went to the library and I found the magazine Scientific American that some of you might have seen, and then I read it and then I wrote this paper. Well, it turns out that the paper I wrote was about the history of climate recorded in ocean sediments, and it was written by my future PhD advisor. Of course, I didn't know that at the time, and I forgot all about it later. And when I was in graduate school working on a PhD, my mom found this old paper and sent it to me, and it turns out that I was working on exactly that topic that was in my middle school paper, and I handed it to him.
That's amazing. And what's your favorite part of your job?
Well, I like lots of parts of my job. It's certainly true of science that science is 10% inspiration and 90% perspiration. I certainly like the 10% inspiration part, but I like several parts in particular. I always liked solving puzzles, and every day I get to solve puzzles, which is the coolest thing ever. The kind of puzzles I solve now, some of them are about the instruments that measure things. I invent some of them, and I make them work, or I make existing ones work better. And then I get to take the data that comes out of it and put together all of these puzzle pieces to turn it into a real piece of science, from individual pieces to a big picture. I also like working with the people a lot. I like working with my students. Of course, I get to have students now. I teach PhD students, and they're just a delight to see them start from not knowing what they're doing and to emerge as creative thinkers that create things that people have never thought before. That is really fun.
That's great. Thank you.